haven't said anything yet. Hope this next bit is entertaining as me standing up. We'll see, thank you. Right. So, ladies, gentlemen, friends, family, welcome to our little summer house up north. And thank you to every single one of you for making the effort to travel, some of you some considerable distances, to attend Jessica and Keiran's wedding day. You are the family and closest friends of Jess and Keiran, and by being here over this weekend, you've helped make their wedding even more special and memorable for them. So thank you. And I hope you all take fond memories of the weekend away with you too. Now, one thing I must apologise for. Since arriving up here, I found there's some very strange pollen levels. They make my eyes moisten occasionally. Some of you may notice already today. So if it does happen, it's the pollen, all right? So I think we'd all agree what a fabulous, fabulous day. Fabulous day. Today, I have felt immensely lucky, honoured, and indeed proud to walk two beautiful women down the aisle today. And I have to say, Sandra, you look as beautiful today as the day I married you. Today, though, is about Jessica and Keiran. And I'm sure you'd all agree when I say, Jessica, you look absolutely stunning. Keiran, you're a very, very lucky man. Now, it's no secret that I always wanted a son. And thankfully, second time around, we're blessed with our amazing son Jordan, whom we are both also immensely proud of. When Jessica was born, I remember the midwife placing a little bundle into my arms that was screaming its head off. I glanced across to Sandra, knowing I wanted a boy, and she asked, "Is that all right?" My response, absolutely fantastic. At that moment, I fell completely in love with the daughter I'm lucky enough to call mine. Little did I know then, they spend the next 30 years still screaming her head off at me. Believe it or not, when Jessica was born, I had a full head of hair. There is the proof in the corner. Now, everybody in here knows Jess and how she likes to organise everything to the minutest detail. Spreadsheets, timings, and how she always has to get a point across and is determined to win every conversation and argument she's involved in. Even our friend Ian, and I'm sure his exact words were, "She's a tough cookie to debate with, but whether or not you agree with her, she has the substance to back her argument up." True? And I think this trait does run in the female side of the Edge family. And today, there are 3 generations of Edge family in the room, all of whom are successful, strong, determined, argumentative, opinionated, annoying. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. Well, when I started courting my beautiful wife Sandra, she concealed these traits very well, as did, I gather, my mum from my dad. But Jess, she's not hidden anything. She's always been completely open. But one thing we do all know, though, underneath that hard, argumentative exterior is, let's be honest, a hard, argumentative interior. And Keiran, you're still here. And that's why we all know this marriage will last. They say you don't marry the person you can live with, you marry the person you can't live without. Well, Keiran, just so you know, Jess is taking a scene and we operate a strict no-return policy. Now, on a serious note, Keiran, it has been a pleasure getting to know you since you've been with Jessica. You've impressed us time and time again with your morals. I think this has been before today. Your patience and your work ethic. and your parents must take great credit in how they've raised you. So, my first toast, if I could, is to raise a glass for Linda and Gary because you brought up a son who is absolutely perfect for my daughter. Linda and Gary. Now, one thing that really did impress us about Keiran, he did ask Sandra and I if it would be okay with him asking for Jessica's hand in marriage, which is the right and proper thing to do, and I think does get overlooked sometimes these days. One slight issue. Oh, sorry, I've missed a bit. So, well done, son-in-law. Box ticked. Slight issue, he did wait until we were all pretty blathered at Sophie and Ben's wedding before picking his moment. Box unticked. To be fair, in the state we're all in, if you'd have asked for my house, I'd have probably given it. That was a boozy do. In any case, it's done, we couldn't be happier. Sandra and I have also had the privilege of playing second mum and dad to lots of Jessica's friends over the years, especially prior to their nights out on the town that commenced with pre-drinks in our conservatory. Sandra's famous homemade soup would be brought out to line the stomachs. The lads would pop through to watch some rugby with me, grab a beer or two, or three, and usually pinch most of my curry. But we didn't mind, just as long as you were all happy, and I hope those memories hold with you for those involved. Jessica, those nights showed us you have the most wonderful, loyal, I'm looking over here, completely wappy group of friends. All traits we were lucky enough to experience again on your recent Dublin Stendu. Now, just a little warning, pollen levels seem to be increasing, so before I do this next bit, okay? Over the last few years, especially since you got engaged, people have often asked me, so what do you think of Keiran? And I've always started the reply with, well, I'd never actually tell him this, but, well, today, Keiran, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of you. If Jessica had ever come to me and said, Dad, there's so many boys out there, I don't know which one to pick. Will you help me pick one? No hesitation. I'd have picked you for my daughter. So, you're now married, husband and wife. Keiran, this is your turn. When Jess needs money for a trip, dinner, night out, that's your responsibility now. When she needs a lift home at some unearthly hour after having a couple too many, that's your responsibility now.
Responsibility for years.
But what I have to say, when it comes to being the most important man in her life, well, that's your absolute privilege now. So all that's left for me to say is, Jess and Keiran, we all love you so very much. May your lives together be filled with laughter, adventure, and a love that grows deeper and deeper year on year. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom.
Beautiful speech, but my God, it was long. It's now actually the 6th of September 2026, so happy 1 year anniversary. Now you've all been waiting 12 months. I best deliver, aren't I? So, hi everyone. For those that don't know me, what a shame. And those that do, I'm so sorry. Now I'm absolutely petrified and a little bit well-oiled, so I'm so sorry for what I'm saying next. Please be patient.
It's fine, alright, you just sit down, it's fine.
Thank you, everyone. I'd just like to take a quick moment to reintroduce the most important people in the room tonight. We're here to support them, we love them, we know them, Can I get a huge, huge, huge round of applause for the bar staff? Sorry, I actually mean Mr. and Mrs. Barker. Of course, we're here to celebrate the marriage of Jess and Keiran on this incredible day. Jess, you look absolutely breathtaking, and that dress is the most stunning dress I've ever seen. Even if it did take 5 shops, 33 dresses to find it, it was totally worth it, because look at her. She's a Bobby Dazzler. And Keiran, I must say you look really dapper and all. Even if you do relax in jeans, dressed to the nines every day, you really have outdone yourself. So, me and Jess go way back to 2 cheeky 3-year-olds at Baby Ballet at the Village Hall in Walton, where we met for the first time. It was love at first sight. We spent many years practicing our ballet every Monday night, but spent most of the lesson running around chasing each other, playing tig, or wiping our dirty ballet shoes on each other on our freshly washed pink tights. We'd be frequently getting in trouble with our ballet teacher, whilst the other girls stood rolling their eyes, or even more scarily having to come out to us mums who were patiently waiting for us, looking like we'd just played a full game of rugby. Over the years, we became completely inseparable, to the point where one summer I moved into the family home and became an honorary edge. I even had my own bed in her room.
And your own toothbrush.
And my own toothbrush. Thank you, Sand. I didn't use Jess's.
You could have done that.
I know, love you. We would spend our time eating ridiculous takeaway challenges, nursing our hangovers with a cup of Sandra's famous soup, Damo, you stole my line, or doing our makeup to head back out on the town or whatever house party it was that weekend. I would say that me and Jess had a particular thirst for being a part of our local clubs, including but not limited to Sunday night quiz at the New Inn, followed by a spin round X-Bar, Monday Club, where a bunch of us from our old jobs at Cedar Court Hotel would frequent the sites of Tequila nightclub. Then usually, to top off our week, we'd pay a visit to Kookie's nightclub, where it would always be Kookie's till 6, where if you went home before 6 a.m, you were subjected to an onslaught of insults and further shots the following week. We also had a passion for sightseeing and travel. I know, look at us. Over the years, we had seen exotic sights of Malia, Lanzarote, even though we tell people we went to Tenerife, Amsterdam, Zante, Dublin for what was quite literally the best endo ever in the world, and of course our favourite destination and for sightseeing and culture, Wakefield Town Centre on a Saturday night. Big up Shaky Wakey. Being friends with Jess, you will always have a drink in your hand and a laugh to be had. In fact, we laughed so loud one holiday that our new friends that we'd made round the pool were actually deaf. They came over to us and said they could fully hear us and commented daily how loud we actually were. Jess, you have always been my best friend, and at times my only friend. You've always been my family and my fake girlfriend more times than any of the above. These past 27 years, we have been through many adventures and many memories, from countless sleepovers where our parents would come in at stupid o'clock in the morning and tell us to stop giggling, to trekking through the wilderness. Well, I say wilderness, I mean a random field in Yorkshire for Duke of Edinburgh Award, carrying what I can only describe as enough tinned rations, like we were taking on an expedition up Mount Everest, and eventually pulling a sickie because we were cold, wet and tired and wanted to go to Amy's. Doing our own silly photo shoots in the field opposite your family home in the summer, or our annual Christmas staff nights out to start scouting for girls with pint cups twice the size of our heads, screaming, "Your smile warms me like central heating." Jess, you really are the most amazing friend. Everyone you meet has something instantly lovely to say about you. You're kind, intelligent, thoughtful, selfless, loyal and compassionate. There is no one in this world I would rather dance around like a nutter to live in La Vida Loca or Peter Andre's Mysterious Girl with. I saw this theory on friendships a few months ago and I really thought it was fitting, so sorry, it's here. There are 3 types of friendships in this life. I may cry, there is pollen in this room. There are leaves, branches and roots. Leaves are the ones who show up when life is good and the sun is out, and when things get hard, they can fall away. Then you have your branches. Branches are friendships which seem strong and may hold for a while, but you put enough pressure on them, they break. And then you have your roots. The people who stay season after season, celebrating when skies are clear and summer's here. The ones who show up and stick around when you have nothing left to offer, when you are lost or broken. They are grounded, they are steady, and they are entrenched. Jess, since we were 3 years old, you have always been my roots. God, pollen. You have been there through every chaotic and beautiful season, and I can only hope I have been the same for you. I have called you many names over the years: Chicken Fingers, Charlton, Princess Damien, Tio, and now I'm calling you Roots. Because being rooted with you through love, laughter and heartbreak and growth is one of the greatest gifts of my life, and I will cherish it forever. Oh, the pollen. Keiran, you won the absolute lottery of women. The way you look at my best friend is pure love, and even when she's had 20 pints or so. When we met you at high school all them years ago, who'd have thought we'd be here today? You were always part of the Sunday night quiz crew, often making appearances on nights out and generally making everyone laugh with your wicked sense of humour. But one day your friendship caught fire and turned into this beautiful love story. I remember getting a text from Jess, and you two had just started seeing each other secretly. You were in that place of pretending that you didn't like each other, and Jess texted me saying, "I'm slightly concerned that I'm going to end up liking Keiran. I even found him playing golf sexy." Like how? And pardon Jess's French, it's fucking golf. She couldn't believe that all this time you two had been friends, that she was now falling for you. The first few months, Jess would text me constantly saying how you'd played it cool. She wasn't even sure you were interested in her anymore, but how wrong she was, because deep down I knew you were obsessed. She would constantly apologise, saying I'll shut up about him now, knowing full well as a best friend I'd say shut up and tell me every gory detail, because seeing her light up when she spoke about you was magic, and I cannot thank you enough for making my best friend this happy. You're not only the karaoke king of country roads and rap artist to the original snapping necks and ripping checks that was created in the New Inn Beer Garden. Behind your quick wit, you are genuinely so understanding, kind, patient and caring. You not only support Jess in everything she does, apart from moonwalking her socks off backwards before she gets in bed on a night.
Not like my speech, don't steal my.
Sorry, I was first. But you also support all her wild friends too and facilitate our dolphin antics. I have always been able to turn to you both when I have needed advice, a laugh, or just to blow off some steam, and I am forever grateful to you. Sorry, I'm nearly done. You have both found your soulmate in each other, and it's obvious to see that you were made for each other. I'm so honoured to be standing here today by your side on the most important day of your life as you enter your wife era. You are the most amazing person, and I am so blessed to have grown up with you. And Keiran, I hope you have as much fun growing old with Jess as I did growing up with her. I'm so proud of you both. I love you both so much, and I cannot wait to see where this new adventure takes you, because you both deserve the absolute world and a long and fulfilling life together. Can we please raise a massive glass of wine to the new Mr. and Mrs. Barker? I'm never doing that again. Jess, it's your turn.
I'm going to start by saying I was a bit worried about what Sophie was going to say, but she's been very nice, so I'll delete bits of my speech as appropriate. Hello everyone. I'd like to thank you all for being here to celebrate and share our special day, and to watch while I officially made Keiran the happiest man alive. At least that's what I've told him to say. I know it's not traditional for the bride to make a speech, but I'm sure that no one here has ever known me to keep my mouth shut. We also know it's a bit of a trek, so we really appreciate everyone coming up here and making the effort to travel up. It's been wonderful. Everyone says that wedding planning is really stressful, but it hasn't been for Keiran, has it? It's been the most relaxing 2 years of his life. Partly because every time I've asked him a question about the wedding, he said, whatever you want. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, we have ended up with 14 spreadsheets. In all seriousness, if you had asked me 10 years ago, if you'd told me 10 years ago that I would be marrying Keiran Barker, I'd have told you to stop being ridiculous. Because Keiran and I go way back. And when I say way back, I mean way back to the Friday night traumatic close shifts that I used to work with Keiran. And this is because we used to work at the pub together, and I still have flashbacks of Keiran driving me insane. We used to work the close shift, which meant that you get out there as fast as possible. Was Keiran cleaning down so that we could go home? Absolutely not. Instead, Keiran was serving drinks hours after we've called last orders, chatting away to the customers, and, of course, sipping a pint himself. Typical Keiran. I also remember the first time that we met, not counting school because we didn't really know each other properly then, because Keiran was the year below. On Keiran's first shift at the pub, I tried to be nice. I said, "Hi Keiran, I think we kind of know each other from school." This man looked me dead in the eye and said, "I have absolutely no idea who you are." We have since established that he did know who I was. He was just being difficult and trying to wind me up. That should have been my first warning sign. Things got better though, and we became really good friends for years. And I'm really grateful for that time because it did give us such a strong foundation before we got together. And let's be honest, Keiran's uni antics were far more entertaining from the sidelines. I don't think we'd have lasted very long during that phase. When we first became friends, Keiran told me that he didn't think he'd ever settle down and get married. So here we are. Keiran, settled down. Me, still working on him trying to turn the lights off when he leaves the room. But now a couple of thank yous from me personally. My bridesmaids, Amy, Bethan, Kerry, Lauren, and my amazing maid of honour, Sophie. You've been absolutely incredible, not only today, but through everything leading up to this moment. Thank you for being my co-planners, for letting me talk about the wedding 24/7 for the last 2 years, and for being on board with every single wacky idea that I've ever come up with. You all look absolutely unbelievable today, and I'm so lucky to be surrounded by the best group of women I could ever ask for. I also want to thank two very important sets of people, our parents. Mum and Dad, thank you for everything, for supporting my many changes of heart and the many years of being a professional student. You've taught me to be independent and to believe that I can achieve anything, and I wouldn't be the woman I am today without you. To Linda and Gary, thank you for welcoming me into your family and raising such a wonderful man. I promise to look after him and try to stop him talking about golf 24/7. We both want to thank our incredible, albeit rather huge, team of suppliers, mainly for being patient with me asking them 1,000 questions. The team at Rushpool and our coordinator Charlotte, Aaron, Helen and Tom for photographing and videoing our day, Karen for the gorgeous flowers, Sheer Elegance for dressing the room, Kat who is painting our day, and Lizzie and Jess for doing mine and the girls' makeup and hair. Last but not least, a big thank you to Matt Hodges, who gave me a heart attack until about 8 o'clock this morning because he was in Germany, but who will later be joined by Simon, who is actually here already, for being the soundtrack to our wedding. Having Matt play was the main thing that Keiran was bothered about organising for the wedding, and we actually had to make sure that Matt was free before we could commit to a date with the venue. You see, they say marriage is about compromise, so Keiran did compromising and I let him think all the wedding ideas were his. Finally, thank you to my now husband. You are encouraging, patient and inspiring, knowing exactly when to use each. You make me laugh every single day and you always give me back tickles when I ask, even if you roll your eyes first. I love how you light up any room, how you always know what to do, and how I am yet to find a topic you don't know a random fact about. You are my best friend, my soulmate, and I wouldn't want to do life with anyone else. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life annoying you in ways that you can't even imagine yet, starting with the way I take my socks off. I'm so excited for our future together, Keiran. Whatever life throws at us, as long as we face it together, I know we'll be just fine. So I have a couple of last things. If you haven't already seen, underneath your napkin is a secret mission. Just for fun, we've randomly assigned funny tasks for you to complete throughout the day, just for a laugh. So if you don't want to get involved, you don't have to. But you never know what wild antics you might see people getting up to during the day. And now, before I'm going to hand over the mic, I need everyone to join me in raising a glass. Or more specifically, the baby Guinness that's been sitting in front of you waiting for this exact moment. I need...
Be careful.
Oh.
You don't want to do it. You're alright.
Yep. Here's to love, laughter, a tiny bit of mischief along the way, to Keiran, and to the best day ever!
Sliante.
Over to you.
Wow. Firstly, just obviously thank you to Damien. When you told me that your speech was going to be a bit emotional, I didn't know it was going to be mainly directed at me, so thanks for blowing the pollen this way. Sophie, amazing as always. Such a good friend to Jess, so can't thank you enough for that. And Jess, you did a speech as well, so
Guess I'll know.
No, but firstly I do just want to apologise in case this drags, and everyone else has dragged on, but if I also drag on a little, those of you that know Jess well will know that earlier I signed a piece of paper which was me signing away my right to speak uninterrupted for the rest of my life. So I'm going to make the most of it now, and you can all just wait for the best man's speech just a little longer. But on behalf of Jess, my new wife and I do just want to thank everyone for being here today. It truly means so much to be surrounded by our family and friends on such a special occasion. Many people have travelled very, very far, people coming from Plymouth, Brighton, London, Northumberland, and of course the noisiest Wakefield contingent. We're so grateful for the effort that you've made to celebrate today with us. I would also just like to add a really special thank you to both of our families. To my mum and dad, thank you both for your love and support in shaping me into the person I am today. Mum always drove to the ends of the country to watch me play sport when I was younger, whether it was football as a boy or hockey as I got older, and you still don't think you'll ever miss a game. You never once made me feel like a burden or like it was a chore to do that. I suppose that's a sacrifice you have to make when you have such a talented son. Sorry, Jess, did you change this? Because it doesn't sound like something I'd say.
Sounds like something I'd say either. I think you must change it.
Dad, memories of us travelling the UK, playing amazing golf courses are so precious to me. Thank you for always being up for it and willing to pay. But in all seriousness, I am so grateful for the opportunities that both of you have given me. So yeah, thank you for that. And we just have a small token. Mum, some flowers for you. And Dad, some one of your favourite hobbies, a nice bottle of red wine. There you go. Thank you. To my new in-laws, Sandra and Damien, thank you for welcoming me into your family with such open arms. Sandra, I don't think I've ever left your house without being offered a sandwich, or without you rescuing one of my shirts with your stain-removing wizardry. And Damien, You're always up for it, always ready to help, whether it's jobs around our house or just helping giving the dogs a bath, so long as it doesn't clash with a Manchester United game. You've both done such a fantastic job raising Jess. I promise that I'll look after her. It's the best I can do. I would just quickly like us all to take just a moment to... oh yeah, it's presents for you as well, actually. So Damien, red wine. Sandra, some flowers for you. The flowers, actually, just a really quick thank you. The flowers here and that Jess got this morning were made by Lauren. Amazingly talented, so thank you. And the welcome sign outside, which if any of you saw, is absolutely amazing. So yeah, thank you for that, Lauren.
And soon we'll stop talking so you can...
Yeah. I would like us all just to take a quick second to remember people who maybe couldn't be here today. They are in our hearts and thoughts, and we really would have given anything to share the day with them. On to Jess's friends, the dolphins. You are the most wonderful friends to Jess. No idea is ever too big or too silly, and you throw yourselves head first, or Lauren, you're the butt of the joke again, knee first, into everything that we ask. You all look absolutely stunning today. Watching you walk down the aisle was just such a privilege, so thank you. And also thank you for our flowery glasses this morning. I assume that was your doing. To my groomsmen, distance might sometimes keep us apart, but the friendships that we have mean the world to me. Apart from at paintballing, when you all took a little bit too much joy in shooting. To my best men, Adam and Josh, thank you both for being by my side today. Josh, such a privilege to have you play violin during our entrance earlier. And Adam, from our first day at uni, it was clear that we were always going to be very good influences on each other. And since then, it's been 11 years of great friendship, questionable antics, and I can only thank you for always being there, no matter the distance. See how nice that was? Just remember that. So now I suppose it's time to talk about the real star of the show, and although it's nice, it's not this suit, and it is my new wife, Jess. So Jess, it feels absolutely incredible that we're here today. From meeting while working at the New Inn, to being great friends through our 20s, finally secretly getting together during COVID. It's been quite the journey, and since then we've shared so many milestones, finishing my work at Production Park, opening 1903 in Hooton Pagnell, welcoming Bobby into our family, finally finishing your PhD, becoming a doctor, getting engaged in Dublin, countless holidays, your work in America, and welcoming Rupert. The best mistake we ever made. And now starting my new job at Pulse Hire. Some of the younger staff at 1903 used to joke that I'd lived 1,000 lives. And looking back, maybe they were right. But I wouldn't change a single second, because every step has led me here with you. Also, I think just a quick round of applause for Jess, who has meticulously planned this day for the last 2 years. Honestly, and now very quickly, just I think in love and sort of honour of our love of Greece, I would like to share a tiny piece of Greek mythology, which I think is quite appropriate. So there was a guy called Aristophanes, and he once said that humans originally were these double-bodied creatures. So we had 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 heads, etc. And these people became really sort of overpowerful and started questioning the gods. And Zeus became really, really angry and split them in 2 as a punishment. And Aristophanes said that the pursuit of love is to find one's other half. And as crazy as it sounds to imagine double-bodied creatures, people with 4 arms and 4 legs and 2 heads. I 100% feel like I've found that with you, Jess. I have found my missing half. You're kind, you're intelligent, beautiful, funny, loving, the most amazing mother to Bobby and Rupert, and I feel that together we are strong enough to challenge the gods. I have just got here that I know that I would choose you in every single life. And I'm standing here today and I feel the luckiest man alive. You make me better every day. I can't wait to spend forever with you. So thank you for being my other half. So to conclude, it has been said that a successful marriage is built on love, laughter and a little patience. With Jess, I feel incredibly lucky to have all 3. So please raise your glasses to family, to friendship and to a future filled with happiness. To my wife, my best friend and my forever love, Jess. Thank you. And now the bit you've all been waiting for, Adam Moore.
Well, how on earth do I follow all those fantastic speeches? Perhaps a small introduction. I am Adam, and for those of you who do not know me, well, you've done well because you put at the wrong wedding. I joke, but as you'll all know, I have the honour and privilege of being before you today as Keiran's best man. Now, what many of you will not know, however, is the trouble Keiran had finding the best man. He started by asking his funniest friend. He said no. He then started by asking his most charming friend. He said no. After that, he asked his best looking friend, and again, no luck. He said no. He then tried a 4th time, and I mean, how could I refuse 4 times? So here I am. With that little introduction out of the way, and I think before we go any further, I'd like to echo what has gone before me and say on behalf of everyone to thank Keiran and Jess for inviting us on your special day. What a wonderful day it has been so far, and it's clear for all to see how hard you've worked, Jess. A truly momentous effort. Keiran, you've done remarkably well not to look too surprised. Which brings us to Keiran. Well, where do we even begin? Perhaps where it all started. After being placed in a house together alongside 8 other students, Keiran and I met on the first night of Freshers Week. And much to the dismay of those around us, we instantly bonded over our shared love of beer-fueled chaos. Whilst the drunken events of those early days at uni are perhaps better left to confine to memory rather than articulated here today, it's fair to say that Keiran's key qualities, a love of a good time, confidence, gregariousness, strength of character, quickly began to shine through. And it's these qualities that made Keiran, and still make him to this day, a joy to be around. Unsurprisingly, university very quickly became a constant party. The only problem was, not everyone wished to attend this particular party. Yes, as I recall, by week 3 of our first term at university, our 8 housemates were seemingly not in the partying mood anymore, and had banded together in solidarity and had lovingly created a private group chat entitled Bitching About Adam and Keiran. So yes, a good start. Keiran and I went on to live together for 3 more years and have gone through the highs and lows of life together ever since. In this time, a lot has happened. The highs have been extremely high and the lows extremely low. But one thing that has always remained constant is I've always known that I can count on Keiran. Indeed, Keiran really is the friend you could call in the middle of the night to help bury your body. Now, for legal reasons, I can't tell that story. But what I can say is whether Keiran would remember the shovel is quite another matter. But you are never in any doubt when burying a body that he would show up with a witty quip, more than likely a couple of beers, and somehow you would end up having a good time. And it is these qualities which make Keiran the reliable, loyal and constant person that he is. and that I and many others in this room have been honoured to call a friend all these years. Now, there are family and there are friends, and then there are friends that become family, and Keiran is firmly in the latter. The blessing and the curse of great friendship is, however, the memories you make along the way. A blessing because you have great times to finally look back upon, a curse because you can never go back. But Keiran tries. As many of you know, Keiran loves an anecdote, and he will happily hold court for hours speaking about the highly amusing times gone by. Somewhat surprisingly though, despite the high quality of the storytelling, not everybody enjoys being walked, or perhaps more accurately marched, down Keiran's memory lane. As Jess often laments when Keiran and I get together for a beer, honestly, when you two get together, all you do is reminisce. Please, for God's sake, change the record. Guilty as charged. I shall therefore refrain from regaling everyone with lengthy stories of past misadventures. But there are perhaps a few anecdotes that exemplify Keiran more than most, and do bear repeating here today. To start, we'll go back to the beginning at university. During my tenure as the president of our college, I tasked Keiran to organise an evening of pub golf, with the idea being that the proceeds would go to charity. Keiran was naturally incredibly keen. Now, pub golf, for those who are not familiar, is a pub crawl of around 9 predetermined pubs with a preset drink in each, with the aim of the game being to finish those drinks in as few sips as possible. Now, normally the organisers of pub golf do not make the course aspirational, but rather realistic. Perhaps a pint in each pub with the odd half pint in thrown for good measure. One presumes with an eye on ensuring the mortality rate remains low. But oh no, not Keiran. Keiran's pub golf had trebles, pints, and you notice the plural there, of 9% scrumpy, full pitchers, and bottles of Wetherspoon's rosé wine. And in Pied Piper-like fashion, Keiran duly led his band of merry golfers around the city of York. And, in what will come as a surprise to absolutely nobody in this room, unmitigated chaos ensued. Every pub became a karaoke bar. All of our golfers were given an advert for Pub Watch, and by the end of the evening, even the local paramedics got involved. Now, I'm sure Mr. Churchill would not mind me borrowing and amending his infamous words, but it's fair to say on this occasion, never had so much been drunk by so few at the expense of so many. Keiran was, of course, characteristically undeterred by this, and soon after he sought to persuade me that organising another pub golf evening was a good idea. This time, though, with the rugby team. Sadly, after hearing about the antics of the previous golf outing, the captain of the rugby team quite sensibly had other ideas, proceeded to very bluntly refuse Keiran's offer on the basis, and I quote, "You two take the fun out of drinking." I will let you decide whether this is a compliment or a cause for real concern. Astonishingly, around the beer-fueled chaos and debauchery over the years, Keiran has remained an avid and successful sportsman. In addition to his legendary prowess on the beer pong table, he played hockey to an extremely high level and is a trained skiing instructor. A true testament to his love of sport. Sadly, however, sport does not love Keiran. At the beginning of each university term, it was always intriguing to hear the latest reason why Keiran was on crutches. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, how many ACLs one is meant to have, but by my account, Keiran has 10. But a little known fact about Keiran is that he is actually a legendary figure at Henley Royal Rowing Regatta. Indeed, Keiran is not only the first person to have ever drunk so much champagne that he fell into the river during a semi-final race, but he is the first person to attend Henley Royal Regatta dressed to the nines and in white trousers, to fall into the river as a result of imbibing too much champagne before lunch, and then, when soaking wet, to get lost in the village of Henley, only to reappear the following morning under a dog towel on the porch of a house 100 miles away. Now, if that story does not exemplify the quirks of Keiran's character, I simply do not know what does. As far as today is concerned, though, Keiran is but one character in a very complex story. And there are, of course, the bridesmaids, who look great and have done a fantastic job of babysitting the groomsmen. So bravo, girls. Big hand for them all, I think. And then there is, of course, the main character, Jess, who I'm sure we can all agree looks absolutely amazing. Now, in addition to occupying the position of bride extremely well, Jess is also academically accomplished, her professional title in fact being Dr. Jessica Edge. One might remark, then, that Jess and Keiran make the perfect team. Jess provides the brains and the beauty, and Keiran is absolutely great at carrying bags and can handle a Jaeger bomb like nobody else. I jest, of course, and it's clear for all to see that Jess and Keiran really do bring out the best in one another. As we've already heard today on a few occasions, the Jess and Keiran story, which has led us to this moment, contains as many twists and turns as it spans years. They met as young adults, went their separate ways, life happened to and around them both, and somehow, when the time was right, they came back together again. If there was ever a story which gives life to the old saying, what was meant for you will not pass you by, Jess and Keiran's story is surely it. It is therefore unsurprising that together they have found the great happiness and have overcome everything the world has thrown at them, achieving so much in the process. Whether it be running village fairs, balancing a burgeoning academic career alongside running a successful pub, or navigating their way through life-changing liquidation, together they have proved a formidable team and have successfully built the foundations upon which I have no doubt the happiest of marriages will be built. I think I speak on behalf of everyone here today in wishing you both all the love in the world as you embark on the next chapter of the Keiran and Jess story, and may the coming years be as rewarding as they are happy. Now Jess, Keiran, I'm sure by now you've had enough of my sultry Geordie terms, so I'm going to retreat back to my champagne. But before I do, I feel it is only right that I sign off with some advice. Jess, marriage to Keiran will be like having an excitable puppy that never grows up. It will be joyful, exciting, and there will never be a dull moment. But it will require you to be patient and to provide a steadying hand. Keiran, never question or laugh at Jess's choices, because you, my friend, are the biggest one. And with that, I give you Mr. and Mrs. Barker.